Seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
Hey there guys, so I'm back with episode 4 of the Book of Boba Fett, The Gathering Storm, directed by Kevin Tatooine, who isn't really a big name director, but he's worked on a lot of television, and I think he did a really solid job directing this episode. Now the episode is called The Gathering Storm, and the key word is The Gathering, because this is where the episode where he gathers his Slave One, his gathering his alliance with Fenneck Shand, where in the present he also gathers the alliance of other crime lords in on Mos Vespa against the Pike Syndicate. Now the episode starts off in the past where he wants to acquire his ship back from Jabba's palace, and he realises it's heavily outnumbered and heavily outgunned, and he's got no chance. And this leads into the episode at the end of episode 5 of the Mandalorian season 1, the Gunslinger, where he sees Fenneck Shand dying, and he takes her to a modified place to give her the robotic parts, and it's a really cool system. I like the fact it's a cool little mini montage, and I like the fact that, you know, he kind of gets the oxidized liquid into her lower part of the body and her blood. It's really cool, and I like how they kind of go in depth in that, because when I saw it in the back in the Mandalorian, I just thought it's a bit, how does that work with this? It kind of makes sense. So later on they made an alliance to go into Jabba's palace and acquire Slave One. And yeah, there is a little cool action scenes here and there. And I like the little things. We get to see EV-9D9 back, you know, the torture droid from Return of the Jedi. That was cool and explains what happened to him. We also get to see the Gamorreans in their original clothing like we saw in Return of the Jedi, which is nice. And I think they kind of explain why Slave One isn't called Slave One anymore. It's called Fire Spray. I'm guessing because when Boba Fett is kind of has a change of heart, he's a different person. I guess he wanted to call his ship a different name rather than something that's kind of negative. That's my theory. But later on he does inquire the slave, the Fire Spray, and Fenneck Shand decided to stay on with Boba Fett. And there's this one cool shot when you get the Speeder White gang that we saw back in episode 1 that probably killed the natives in the Tusken Raider natives, and I think the Pike Syndicate hired them. That's a theory. But there's that really cool action scene, Boba Fett doesn't mess around, he just kills them off straight away. We also get to see the Sarlacc pit that Boba Fett thinks his armour is back down there, and they have a closer look and they realise it's a trap, and the Sarlacc pit is trying to grab them. Luckily, the blasters couldn't reach to it because there's too much sand. So luckily, Fenneck Shand activated the detonators, and yeah, it's such a great soothing sound when it goes quiet. And it goes. Vroom. That was really fun, even though it was very dumb for Boba Fett to really stick his head in, because he could have lost his ship again. So we go back to the present day stuff, and it's kind of confirmed that Boba Fett is fully healed now, so we don't need to go to the Bacta tank anymore. So I don't think we're going to get any more flashbacks. I think we will go back to the Bacta tank if Boba Fett gets really injured, so he has to go back to it. But I don't think it's going to happen in this episode or the next. Could happen near the end of how he sort of knows where his armor is. But I don't think we need to go back to the flashbacks for a while. But also, we also see Black Cassatan, who's in the bar, and he's and this is me, he kind of looks like Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine. But yeah, this is one point where he just goes mad for no reason, but Boba Fett gives him a job, and later on that leads into the other, the semi-crime lords to work together and to take on the Pike Syndicate, which was really nice. Everything about this episode is great, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was way better than episode 3. I cannot forgive them for those stupid Power Ranger bikes. But we also get a little tease that Mandalorian will be in the next episode. Here's the thing. I think he will, but I don't think he's going to be a big part. I think he's going to make a small cameo. I think what's going to happen, they're going to contact him, and he's going to be like, nah, I'm too busy, or I'm too depressed after losing Baby Yoda. I think But he will say, actually, I know a guy who owes me a favour who's on Tatooine, which I think Cobb Vanth from the episode 1 or series 2 of Mandalorian will come and like help him out for like this episode. That's my theory, because I think it's way too obvious they're going to bring back Din Djarin for the whole episode. I think he's going to make a small cameo, and then we're going to get Cobb Vanth. That makes more sense. But overall, this was a really good episode. I think it might be my second favourite after episode 2, but it's a really good episode.